Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I am back in Sydney. If you didn't know, my last few videos I've had a little bit of a weird background because I was in Adelaide with Billy Elliot. Now I'm home for about 2 weeks and I'm soon jet setting off to Melbourne for the last leg of the tour. So if you live in Melbourne, you have to come and watch the show and meet me afterwards. Anyway, that's really besides the point of this video. If you don't know me, I'm Jayme Jo. I do a lot of things, and one of those things is make videos about curls. One of my most highly requested videos is how to diffuse your hair. I put this off for a while because I didn't have a diffuser I loved, and also I was just kind of refining my steps so that I could bring you a really good video that's easy to understand, easy to follow, and great for beginners. So if you are struggling with diffusing your hair and you don't know where to start and you don't know how to buy a diffuser, this video is for you. Make sure you keep watching. I didn't style my hair in this video, so if you want to see my styling routine, you'll have to check that out in one of the videos I leave in this little eye. I don't know what side it's on. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe, give this a thumbs up, follow me on the gram. I'll leave the link in my description box below, and stay tuned. My first step before I even start diffusing is to let my hair air dry for around 25 to 30 minutes. Even 15 is enough, just depends on you. But I personally like to just let my hair air dry at the start of the process, right after I style. I find this way, firstly, I just get to do my business normally because I will style my hair, put some makeup on, and then air dry. I feel like this way I get a little bit less frizz and fuzz because I just let my curls air dry without touching them with the diffuser. It kind of doesn't disturb the natural curl pattern as much. So if you do have time to spare, I would suggest leaving about 20 to 30 minutes of just air drying right after you finish your styling process. This is my hair air dried after about 20 minutes. It's just started to form a slight cast from the mousse, which I really love, and as you can see, it's not frizzy or fuzzy at all. So I think it's really beneficial. Moving on to diffusing. Let's talk about what type of diffuser you actually need and what you should be looking for. So I had a pretty crappy diffuser for a long time, but it still worked really well. I tried a few others out and I understood what works best for me and what is necessary. Of course, this is very personal and catered to you and what your hair likes, but this is what I have found works really well. So if you have similar hair to me, which is 3AB/fine texture, this should work really well. The diffuser I have been loving for the past few months, maybe even longer, is this GHD dryer. On the body, what you want to make sure you are looking for, which I think is crucial with the dryer for diffusing, is you want to make sure it has a cold power button. If you just press this, it's going to, whilst you're diffusing, release cold air, which is really good for curls. It will reduce fuzz, and also we just want as little heat as possible on our hair. So that is number one you want to look for, a cold blast setting. It's just this little button that's normally on the front of the nozzle. So next thing you want to look for is something that has a diverse range of temperatures and speeds. So this diffuser has 2 speed settings. It's got a medium one, which is really nice and gentle, and then it's also got a fast one that really amps up the drying process. So I'll just show you. Anyway, so those are the 2 settings. They seem really intense, but once the diffuser's on, the air is really circulated really nicely. And then also it's got 3 heat settings apart from the cool button. So you've got absolutely no heat at all, medium heat, and then hot. So I really would bounce between no heat at all and medium heat. I never ever turn my diffuser up to hot, just because it's super unnecessary with curls and you don't want to heat damage your hair. Alright, so that is what I look for on the base of the, I guess the body of the dryer. Now let's talk about the actual diffuser attachment. There's a few different types of diffusers. I'm going to show you examples of what I don't like and what I do. So what I don't like is when a diffuser, to the side, is when a diffuser looks like this. Rather than the sticks of the diffuser protruding outwards, it's kind of sunken in a cup-like formation. I don't know. What it does is my hair just kind of swirls around in there. I feel like it creates a lot of really unnecessary fuzz, and it doesn't really cut my hair and give the volume that I want. and it also doesn't evenly distribute the air amongst my curls. So I feel like my hair gets really fuzzy and just kind of like swishes around in this bowl looking diffuser. What I do like with the diffuser is this. So as you can see, this has the sticks protruding quite far outwards, and I really love this because my hair doesn't get sunken in and swished around. Instead, it cups my hair. It really focuses on distributing air evenly throughout my curls, and also it doesn't disrupt the curl pattern or make it fuzzy. Also with this diffuser, the holes, the sticky things have air holes in them, so air is really coming out super evenly from all areas. So yeah, this is a great diffuser. This is not something I particularly would go for if you've got fine hair and you want to not get any fuzz. So yeah. Now let's move on to the actual process of diffusing. So now that you've let your hair air dry for as long as possible, I like to start by not touching my curls with the diffuser at all, just to really make sure that my curls are drying in their natural pattern and I don't disturb the texture. So this is basically what I'll do. I'll put it on the lowest speed possible and no heat at all. And I like to, I'll demonstrate without the wind, I like to just move it up and down like so, and just kind of focus blowing a little bit of air onto my curls to dry them up a little bit more before touching them and ruining the pattern. Now, this really depends on you and your hair and how long it takes to dry, but I roughly do that for probably 2 minutes before I move on to the next stage of my diffusing process. When I touch my hair, it's still very soft and quite damp, but it is no way wet or soaking. So yeah, that's how I know to kind of move on if I feel like my hair is kind of drying at a reasonable pace. So the next part is I keep my diffuser on the same speed and heat setting, which is no heat and medium speed. And I gently start to cup and diffuse my hair, but I really like to focus on the roots of my hair first. These tend to dry a lot slower than your ends, and you don't want to dry out your ends by constantly blowing heat on them. So I like to kind of start by getting my roots as much as possible and drying them from all areas, not forgetting about the crown of your head. I feel like a lot of people forget about the crown of their head when they're styling their curls, and then they've got and then they wonder why they've got no volume. So make sure you're still focusing on the crown of your head, the tops of your hair, and underneath to get the roots quite dry before you start cupping it more vigorously to get the ends dry. Some people also like to flip their head over. I like to flip my head over at this point to get the roots a little bit easier. So now my hair is probably 40% dry. I'm really happy with how it is drying. I'm still focusing on those roots as we're going along, but now I'm going to amp up the speed a little bit and start to bounce between no heat and medium heat. So I don't like to leave the heat on for more than 50 seconds at a time, so make sure you're switching between the two just to avoid any heat damage and any fuzz. So at this point, I like to focus a little bit more on cupping the whole of my hair and kind of bringing it up to my head like so. Okay, so we're definitely getting there now with the drying process. To speed it up even more, start to just keep kind of vigorously kind of cupping your curls. Okay guys, so I'd say my hair right now is 80% dry. So, something's sitting on. When I get to this kind of part of my drying routine, I'm not gonna lie, diffusing makes me so tired, but anyway, when I get to this part, I like to do this. It's kind of weird, but I start cupping my hair, but I also kind of spread it apart like this This way the air is evenly distributing through the curls, and I'm also kind of separating them at the same time to give myself that volume that I really like. So I'll start doing this, kind of helping it out, and then I'll start shaking the diffuser through my curls. All right, I'll show you now. Okay, I'm now at the point where I'm happy to kind of give my hair a little bit of a shake. Everybody knows I love to shake my hair. If you want volume, you better shake your hair too. Okay, even feeling now, I still need to diffuse a little bit more, so I'm gonna do that. But I'm actually gonna take the head off. I'm gonna put it on medium speed, and I'm gonna lightly blow this through my hair. Now, if you are scared of too much frizz, don't do this step, but if you're not scared of a little bit of frizz for a bit of volume, do this step. Okay guys, and that is my hair finally dry. So, not gonna lie to you, diffusing takes a while, but air drying takes me about 4 to 5 hours for my hair to dry completely. So I'm fine to set aside 40 minutes of my day to do this. Normally it would take me a lot quicker to do it than I did in this video, just because I was stopping to pause and explain and talk. But this is the results. I love diffusing my hair for volume, and I feel like I have a really good compromise between keeping a lot of definition for my hair. Yay! So as you can see, there are quite a few different techniques I use with the diffuser that I implement throughout the whole time I am drying. I start with just lightly circulating the diffuser around my hair, then to cupping, then more vigorously cupping, then using my hands to assist the diffuser, and then also shaking the diffuser before taking the head of the diffuser off, just to give it one last dry to get rid of any moisture. So that is kind of what I do every time I diffuse. Now, if I'm in a hurry and I don't have time for all those steps, your girl will just like really quickly use the diffuser to dry my hair. But that really does kind of compromise the definition, and it gives me a little bit more fuzz, but it does dry my hair quicker. I really hope you guys did learn something from today's video. It was super fun to be back home filming and not in Adelaide where the lighting sucks. This setup is just so much easier for me, and yeah, it's just nice to be home for a little bit. I'm jet setting to Melbourne in about 2 weeks, so that will also be super fun and interesting. If you want to see any vlogs, please let me know. So yeah, that is my diffusing routine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and come back for more videos. I have them every single week. I love you guys. Mwah!